Hello everyone, and welcome to NAMM 2021. My name is Derek Floyd, one of the hosts here at the IK Multimedia booth. We hope you're enjoying the show so far. Lots of great products to see, and you just stopped at the right place at the right time to see another one. Now, if you're familiar with production from Dr. Dre or Damian Marley, Snoop Dogg, even Kendrick Lamar, then you might be familiar with this Grammy-nominated producer's work behind the scenes. And today he stopped by to talk to us about how he uses the iLoud MTM as a production tool in his game almost every day. So you please help me welcome our special guest to the IK booth, Scoop DeVille. Scoop, you there, my friend?
I'm here, brother.
There he is.
Check,
what's
check,
going
1, 2.
on, my
hey,
man?
What's up, man? How are you?
Microphone checker. Nah, what's going on, man?
Man, everything is great. We over here, blessed to be alive and healthy in this crazy time right now during lockdown.
That Rona's a beast right now. You in Cali, right?
Yeah, the Rona's got us all on lockdown over here, but good for us creatives because we just got to keep juicing and keep them healthy diets going, and what I mean.
Sir.
Keep it positive
and
for
stay
what
in the
we're
house,
creating.
man. Don't go nowhere. Stay in the house. Stay in the house, man.
That's natural for me because I'm a homebody being creative, always locked in a little dungeon somewhere. So if I'm traveling somewhere, working, or just locked down wherever I'm at, that's just natural for me. So this is perfect.
That's cool. It was funny you mentioned something just a second ago. A lot of the people I talk to, a lot of producers I talk to are saying, man, Rona's been good for them to keep them creative because now they're home and they're locked in, like you said. So it's making you be creative about more stuff, right? You're like pumping out more material, no?
Yeah, this has been a great time for me to just master a lot of things that I'm already just doing naturally and learning new ways of creating and learning new ways of just being, taking this time to just be a better at every way possible, with my health, with, my mind, my spirit. And this is a good time to just keep the flow going and learning something, picking up new instruments. Shout out to IK for putting us up with the greatest monitors right now in the game. They're like the dopest near field monitors to have in your setup wherever you are. And I love it. I have them in the back right here right now. They're like,
we appreciate that, man. I see you got them pop. I see you got them popping. That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and dive into a little bit of the interview, man, because people want to hear from you. And let's talk a little bit about where you come from. So, you've been in the game for a lot of years now, behind the scenes, making tracks for Dre, for Damian Marley, Snoop Dogg, you name it. When did you get your start? Like, what was the thing that kind of kicked you off to say, I want to be a producer?
Well, I first started producing when I was a young kid. My father was in the music business, and he had a lot of success in the early 90s. He's one of the first rappers in the West Coast. His name is Kid Frost. So that's kind of like how I got my start in getting around certain people in the industry.
Shout out to Kid Frost. Shout out.
Hey, shout out to Kid Frost, original legendary MC and one of the godfathers of West Coast hip hop. And kind of like that's what people know me as too, is my hip hop, background. And that's kind of like how I got my start and learned from some of the greats, being a fly on the wall and all these great sessions and being around a lot of great people like Roger Troutman, Battle Cat, Fred Wreck, Dr. Dre, DJ Quick, just watching a lot of these greats that had all the, the tools at the time that we're so blessed now to have all this technology. So things are a lot more funner and innovative and creative. So to take some of that school from the past and integrate it and hybrid it with today's technology is kind of where I'm at. I'm,
and man, you said Roger Troutman. That's somebody from my old school. I'm from Dayton, Ohio, kid. Rep Ohio.
Oh, that's right.
Come on, home with the funk.
Shout out to Ohio. Absolutely. That's an important man right there.
Yes, sir. Ohio players. I mean, Confunction, on and on and on.
Oh, man.
We had so many people come out of Ohio. Ohio was bang. Parliament Funkadelic. We had a lot. Heat Wave. Ohio was banging, kid. Don't get it wrong.
And California too. We grew up with a melting pot of people from all over the place. So it's a blessing. We got to have those oldies and old school and funk and rock and roll and 80s and 90s, all that inspiration that I grew up with. It's just a blessing, man, to have all those blueprints and to pull and take and learn from all the greats, So it's a blessing, definitely.
Nice, man. So where did the name Scoop DeVille come from? Like, how did you kind of pull that out?
Scoop DeVille came from my father. He originally was calling me MC Scoop, and that's just been my name kind of before I was even born. He was like, MC Scoop, that's going to be my son's name, and kind of just grew up with that name. And DeVille came later. He was like, you're a big boy, like a big body. I was a little big for teenagers. So he would be like, "Hey man, you're big like a Cadillac. So Scoop DeVille, that's gonna be your name." And it kind of just stuck with me.
I
And
like that,
yeah,
man. That's cool. That's
yeah,
cool. I like
yeah,
the story too, but it's cool. I like that.
yeah, definitely. It's funny.
So, as long as you've been in the game, man, I'm sure your production style has changed and you've kind of leaned into technology. You said, how has technology changed your workflow?
Man, it's great because it makes things quicker, like to get the idea out and to just be hands-on because everything is going through computers. So it's good to see and to hear sonically what we can do and utilize from that, take the best parts of those things. And like I said, hybrid them with some of the classic ways of making music, taking preamps and still taking hardware analog pieces and running some of the digital stuff through that and just giving that hard knock feel. I love to incorporate the things that made timeless music last forever, how we still listen to some of these great pieces of music and they never go out of style. They always sound still solid and big. And I just love taking those pieces and kind of integrating them with the new ways of making music, the new stutters and the new technology with, distortion, and the list goes on and on. There's so much wild stuff you can do now with the computer. So it's great just to see that, but then to also have that that knowledge to, take it back to the classic ways of how things were created too.
You got to teach me that stutter thing one day. I got to get it in. I've seen all the EDM trance guys do it, making that stutter. I think that's hot. I got to get there. Help me out. Help me out.
Absolutely, I got you. Come on, we'll do a session for sure.
So, with all this technology and all the things you've learned along the way, monitors, a speaker. How important has it become in your creative workflow? How important is the sound?
More important than ever, especially the more and more that I get in tune with sound and it becomes something that's a second nature to me. Those are my ears. The monitors are basically my ears. So I have to make sure their sonics are crisp and everything that I want to hear detail. And it's important to me to hear the music small just as much as it's important to hear it big. And I feel like I get the best of both worlds with the iLoud MTMs because they are just hitting every angle that I need to create or to detail a mix and to just be on the fresh, crisp sound. Every time I turn them on, I can hear something new and different and I can detail them up close and personal. It's like the best pair of headphones, but they're like out pieces. Like it's hard to explain. You just have to hear them. They're something that you can get accustomed to and really bring the best out of your mixes and your creative, possibilities anywhere you are at any given time. That's what's great about them.
And you mentioned anywhere, anytime, and now, as most people know here, the iLoud MTMs have a calibration system built into the speaker. It's called our ARC system. How has that changed how you listen in the studio that you're with?
It's incredible because they can just, connect to any room or any space that I'm in. If it's a small space, if it's a big space that, you have an open loft or you have a small, tight nook, you could just get really up close and personal with these monitors and get a feel for all your sonics, how they're going to sound on smaller monitors, on bigger monitors, because people listen to music nowadays on different devices. We're listening through our cell phones, we're listening through our laptops and headphones. So it's good to hear them through different monitors because it's important for us as creatives to get a sense of what's going to sound when it's finalized. So it's good to have these iLouds. They're important to me now more than ever. I take them everywhere I go because not only can I detail something on it as a mix, but I can actually get creative. They're loud enough, they're bassy enough to really get a feel and to get inspired to make something big. And you'd be surprised what could come out of them once you really get a feel for how you can create with them.
I love that, man. And you said they get pretty big. A lot of people think that speaker's too small. I'm thinking you don't have an idea, man. This is a 100-watt RMS speaker, so RMS speaker. So it's got quite a bit of power coming out of there, right? You can hear that pretty good.
You can hear it amazing. And really, I love listening to things very low as I mix. And once I'm, in the creative zone, obviously I like to turn it up and feel the bass, feel all the sonics of things so I can get into a feel to want to get creative. And, it brings the best out of you when you can hear something full like that. And it's just, it was impressive when I first got the monitors and really got to mess with them and just hear how my music was sounding through them, hear how I can detail them. And then when I bounce the record, take it to my car, because I love to listen in the car as well. It's important to me. So hearing what I could do on the iLoud MTMs and go into the car from that, and then to reference bounces, not being able to be in a major studio in some cases, having to do things from where I am remotely, it's great. Like I can get a mix off and no one would even know that I did them on the small speakers that I have. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't know unless you were here with me rocking with them. And it's great. Like with anything, you got to have time with them to really learn them and to master the sonics and the feel of them. But once you get it, you can hear things differently than just hearing on big boomy monitors. You want to hear things detailed and crisp just as much as you want to hear the boom as well.
Yeah, so tell me this, man. You're another producer who's told me that, mixing on a big, loud speaker isn't the really right way to mix. It kind of distorts what you're listening for. Do you agree with that statement?
Right.
I think that MTMs kind of have enough bass to get you just what you need?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important, like I said, to hear them small and to hear where your bass is hitting. Can you hear your bass frequencies, the lower frequencies, through smaller monitors? And they're right there. It's like they're right in between being something that everyone will have to listen to music, and they're high quality. So it's just important to hear them the way that it's coming out through those speakers. Like, I love that, I get to make music on humongous speakers from time to time in big rooms. And, I've been around a lot of the best studios. So to be in a room like that compared to having smaller monitors now, I'm going smaller and smaller. So, it's just better for me like that. I'm a more on the road, on the go type of a person. I can create anywhere. I like to get, an Airbnb or a hotel or, go back home like a lot of people did for the holidays recently, for whatever it is, you have to be on lockdown and you have to be in a smaller space. Like these speakers go overhead, right in the plane. They're super lightweight. Like it comes in this bag.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So
you
just
got the bag. That's what's up.
Yeah, I got the bag with me, and it's fly because it's just compact. It fits everywhere I'm at, under the seat, overhead, and I love the portability of these monitors. Like they're so high quality, but the fact that they're that portable, it's.
Did you go home for Christmas?
Yeah,
you said you went home
I did.
for Christmas, right?
Yeah, I locked down and quarantined with the family for the holidays in Florida, and
you brought your monitors with you, right?
Everywhere I go now, these things are with me, and it's so perfect because I could just get creative at any given time. And when it hits you, it hits you. There's no right or wrong time and way to make music or create. So sometimes, if it's something that I got to do on the fly or last minute, and it's like I could get to that right now. I don't have to wait to book a session. I could just, set it up in 10 minutes and it's ready to go.
Yeah. So that portability makes a big difference. Being able to not only hear the sound
Absolutely
in the studio where you are, but you can take your sound with you, land in a room where you are, calibrate that speaker, and then you're right back to ground zero, right?
Exactly, just ready to go. And it's easy to set them up and to get right to it. There's, like I said, it's just the fact that they're that lightweight, but they're good looking. They're, you don't see too many white monitors like that too, where they're nice and clean, and they just got a vibe.
You got one of the white pair. Yours look good, man. Those are rare right now. You got a good score.
They're rare. Got the rare pair. Thank you. We got to make them look right. And, I've been showing them off to all of my friends, and everybody asks me, I'm always keeping my ear to the new and the next and what's going to be the now. And we were on to these even before the lockdown and the pandemic. So to even see how much of an importance this is for creatives like me to have the space at any given moment, any place, any time, this is something that needs to be, available to people like me and beyond for any creative.
And how easy is the calibration setup? Because people go, oh, is it really hard to use? Am I got to figure all this crazy stuff out? How easy is it to calibrate?
It's so simple. It's just plugging it in and setting your, where you sit and putting the mics where you're going to be hearing the monitors. And it's going to dial everything in. And I even just go off of them using the flat sound so I can hear them just the way they come natural. And, you know, you can pull and use different ways with these monitors. Like there's just different frequencies, there's different, you know, there's different ways of hearing it. So it's just great to have that, you know.
Yeah, that's sweet, man. That's sweet. And I'm thinking, you know, for as much as you travel and be able to set up in any room you have and be able to get that great sound and have that sound that your ears are keen to, because that's most important too. Your ears get used to a sound, so you want to be able to keep that with you. I'm sure it helps you stay creative and work faster, because if you got to go through different rooms and you're in a different place and you got to listen to different monitors and you got to retune your ears daily trying to figure out a mix. But if you have the same tuned monitors wherever you go, it helps you get creative faster, no?
Absolutely. You know, like a great always told me, it's not about the wand, it's about the magician. So, you know, don't be fooled by, you know, the size of these monitors. You know, they're really powerful, and just to have them if you use them the right way, you're going to get the most best mixes, the best sonics out of them, because it's just, you know, in this point, size doesn't matter. You know, this is a great piece to have. And you know, I recommend them for everybody, not just to just say it, but literally they're important things to have for the road, you know, to create, to be like this. Like my friends, you know, they have apartments, and sometimes I like to go spend time with them and get creative with them as they're making content. Maybe they're making photos or they're getting inspired and we're songwriting. These are the perfect things to have to set up right then and there, right on the spot, and to get something like a high quality created and started. And that's, you know.
I love that. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Well, man, you know,
Yeah.
I'm not going to take up too much more of your time, but tell me a little bit more about what's coming up in the future for Scoop DeVille. You've got all these great tracks out there with Dre and Damian and Snoop and so many. Are there any new artists we should be looking for, or how can we find you with new music coming out your way?
Definitely. You can always check out my new music on my Spotify's, on Apple Music, all the different stream music platforms. I have a lot of music coming out with collaborations with creative partners that I work with, a lot of amazing musicians, creating with the Avila Brothers. And from that's stemming on with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, and working with Usher, and doing some incredible music, utilizing what I do in these different spaces where people find what I do, you know, much needed. And I'm always bringing that taste making kind of element and that next sonic to everybody's, you know, creation. And I like collabing with people nowadays more than ever. You know, I got some creative projects like that coming out, and some stuff with E40 that just dropped with their new double album. It's E40 and Too Short.
Oh, you busy,
I have a record on there. Yeah, you know, we're keeping creative and working with a lot of our people that we grew up with, and, you know, still learning from the greats, because we got to take a lot of that knowledge and integrate it into the future and pass it on, and do things like this where we connect with people and inspire others and show people that you're going to need a major studio. You're going to need things. This is the best time right now to pull the best thing out of you, because this is where you push your boundaries and you experiment and you work with what you have. So, you know, take this time to learn and you know, and stay tuned, stay up on new music, check out my music, check out other people's music.
I love it.
Yeah, definitely.
And for all those little aspiring producers out there that want to be the next Scoop DeVille, what's the one piece of advice you can shout out to them to say, look, man, this is the one thing you need to know before you jump in this industry and be a producer?
I think it's important to just be a forever student and to not stop learning. Be around people who can inspire you. Study the greats. You know, there's a lot of blueprints that were left as, you know, for us in our time, in our generation right now, that those people that came before us, they didn't have those blueprints. They were just kind of spitballing and figuring things out on their own. So it's cool to kind of learn the do's and don'ts, and, you know, just study the greats, watch the rock documentaries, you know, be in tune with music, push yourselves. Don't just stick in one genre. Don't think music is just in, you know, in one space where you're from. It's all over the world. Be open to sound, be open to, you know, change, be a part of the change. This is a perfect time right now to master your craft. Take this time and get good, pick up an instrument, get creative. You know, this is a beautiful time to do it. If we weren't, you know, on this thing, we'd be at NAMM Live rocking and meeting people, shaking hands and connecting and building like we do every year. And, you know, as much as we can connect and build, this is perfect. And we're going to keep continuing to do that. And yeah, stay tuned. Check me out on all the platforms.
Look for Scoop DeVille. He's coming your way.
Look for Scoop DeVille on IK's website as well. You know, we're doing some more collaborative content together, and we're gonna keep, you know, showing some new segments and things. You know, this is a perfect time. Believe in Music Week, the NAMM convention 2021. 2021. We've made it this far. Technology is important right now. Let's utilize it. Let's bring it together and connect. I think this is the perfect time and platform to do it. Get your IK multimedia devices, you know, load them up. Get your, your rigs, your mics, your lighting. Get ready to do it.
It's all there. Well, man, we should appreciate you taking a few minutes to stay with us and just talk to the people out there at NAMM 2021. You know, I'm going to have them keep looking for you and try to find your music out there and keep us posted. We'll be keeping your IG lit up and your Facebook lit up, making sure we follow where you're at. And for everybody out there that's got a chance to see the show, we sure do appreciate you stopping by the NAMM booth here, 2021, IK Multimedia. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Take a look at the rest of the products we're showing here at NAMM. Don't forget to follow us on IK Multimedia. Have a great one, guys. Take care. Enjoy NAMM 2021.